Beginner servers. They're a little different than what you're used to. Enjoy the comfort and security of your metal base? How about a stone one? Grown to rely on your flak armor and fabricated weapons? How about some raggedy chitin and some couple very primitive firearms? Appreciate having tames that can actually do things? Yeah, me neither. As you can tell by now, beginner servers are a little different. And that's because the level cap is 44. This means the best possible structure you can have is stone, the best raiding method is grenades, and the majority of tames cannot even be saddled. Those with sharper wits would probably realize the point of this server, and that's to have early game PvP. You know, the thing everybody seems to be nostalgic for? And with a server performing its once every 3-month wipe, I thought I'd throw my hat into the ring. And I decided to do the unthinkable. I would set my base up right here, South 1. The most traveled area in the entire game. Everybody on the server would know exactly where my base was, and I had only one goal: survive. But before I could get started with any of that nonsense, I had to make a nice looking character. Looks about good to me. Excuse me. Immediately upon spawning in, some ne'er-do-well wished to just punch me asleep. I hadn't even been alive for a minute, and there was already someone trying to kill me. A little bit of foreshadowing, maybe. Good start. Alright, max level has been achieved. With the incredibly low level cap, it only took me about 3 minutes to max out. From here, I would head north to the closest waterway and set up a basic starter raft. From there, I would then farm up metal and the building pieces for the actual South 1 base. The rationale behind this is if I tried to build a base in South 1 from scratch, I would just continuously get ambushed and I would make terrible progress. Uh-oh. Time for a little bit of battle. Oh, okay. Bit of an opportunist, huh? Get out of here. Despite some random passerby's best attempts, the raft base was now complete. I could sail to the local metal mountain and get the resources necessary for metal tools, which would seriously speed up the process of being able to build an actual base. It's hard to understate how much of a game changer it would be. My home spot has not been claimed. What the hell is that? Is that a dead raptor? Some motherfucker just left like 30 hod right here? Hello? Stay 3. Someone's already got a raptor, and someone's already lost their raptor. Someone's on the hillside right there. Tree chopping. Alright, you're 3 arrows deep. You're dead now, by the way. Upon killing this guy, I found a couple wooden foundations. Now, these aren't sturdy enough for a base on their own, but they can be used to claim land. That way, while I was off getting the pieces for my base, no one would come and take the land out from under me. Jeez. Yeah, whatever. I can use these foundations. And there we go. Alright. First things first, do a metal run. Metal hatchet. Perfect upgrade. And it hasn't even been like 30 minutes, so we're chilling right now. Now, although I did have a metal hatchet, do not let me deceive you into thinking that this process was at all quick. I'm still on normal official rates, and here's the base I'm trying to build. Now let me explain how this thing works. This is a 6 tall 3x3. Looking at it, you might think it's excessive and just plain stupid. And on a normal server, it would be. This build only works on beginner servers. Here is a cross-section of the base. Now you'll see there's 5 layers of just empty space, and at the very top there's the actual room that'll have everything in. This works in 2 main ways. The first is that the opponent could mistake it for simply being an empty house. 5 and 6 walls are not easily to distinguish with just your eye, and if they're in some kind of rush where I'm fighting back, they might think my base is empty, and thus not realize that there's actually another layer right above their heads. But that's a supplementary method. The main way this works is by abusing the fact that you can only have grenades. This kind of setup would never work on a normal server. You just shoot a rocket up and everything comes tumbling down. But on beginner servers, all you have are grenades, and those are affected by gravity. You try to throw one up, it just comes straight back down to you. And you might think, okay, well I'll just bring the whole tower down and then get the loot. But this won't work because the base is specially designed that every single last one of these walls needs to be destroyed before a single ceiling above will crumble down. This makes it ridiculously expensive to raid, and simply no one's going to have the patience. Now you might notice the big weakness of this is just use the gravity against it. Somehow just get on the top of the roof and then throw grenades down. They're not going to roll away. And that is true, but I have one way to fight against that. If I can get plants set up in time before people raid me, at that point this is as close to an unraidable base you can get without cheating. Try to blow in through the bottom, and you're going to have to destroy a ridiculous amount of walls that can easily be repaired. Try to go through the top, and you'll get shot by plants. Even if you have a PT hover above and bomb from above, the plants will shoot the grenades out before they hit the ceiling. I am being door camped. You're out of stamina, aren't you? What was the point of you doing that? Can you fuck off, please? I'm trying to build my home. Yep. Fellas come to door camp me. He's probably gonna chase me, right? Just gonna take these arrows straight to your fucking chest. Oh! Homeboy's pulling up. It was a 2v1 and they had better gear than me. But this is my turf. I'm not gonna give it up easy. Motherfuckers! God fucking damn it. My stubbornness led to my demise. Simply put, I should have run, especially when I saw the second guy coming. But it's not a big deal. I lost some very basic gear, and I'm sure these guys would just move along and I'd be able to get back to building. That's pretty sick. As you can see, they're literally door camping me right now. Luckily, I was able to plant my foundations down before this all went straight to shit. Mesh rafting me. Don't you just love it when people fucking mesh raft you? Mesh rafting is when you abuse Ark's wonky raft physics to push your raft through another person's raft and use your teammate to get stuff out of that person's raft. It's a tricky thing to do, and it can be a little hard to get, but with enough time, any old idiot could do it. And these guys were doing it to my base. If I didn't do something to stop them soon, it would all be over before it even started. Don't know how he hits me from behind him, but alright. Oh my fucking god, you little dickhead. Okay, looks like they're done. I want to go see if they actually managed to get the shit out of my raft. Okay, looks like we're still okay in this aspect. The stone structures are still here. Seems they had gotten impatient and simply judged that my raft wasn't worth the time. When they killed me, all they got was some very basic armor and a spear. Why would they waste their time trying to mesh raft in? Luckily, they didn't realize there was a whole bunch of stone structures in there, just waiting to be placed. I suppose it's time to get back to farming, but first, I gotta add these guys to my list of enemies. Their tribe name is Stuffed Crust. And no, I know what you're thinking. Do you mean Stuffed Crust? No. Stuffed Crust. They're apparently not very high IQ individuals. Alright. Not a bad start. Things were coming along nicely, and there was good progress being made on the base. I was just sitting here chilling, doing a little bit of farming. this is what I come back to. Oh, they're doing it from the safety of their own home. They're such pussies. They can't even attack my door like an actual man. Well, they got 10% of the way through, so, you know, good try or whatever. What ensued was a not so very epic 10-minute chase. There's no skill to these, you simply just hold forward on your raft and that's fucking it. And they wanted to follow me around for 10 minutes. I was getting a little peeved, to be fair, because this was just straight fucking annoying. Alright, this is just fucking boring, dude. I don't want to spend 10 minutes of my time just going around and around and around, doing nothing. Why did... And I got beached on, like, nothing. Fuck yourself. He glitched into my house! Once again, abusing an exploit, he was inside my house. Luckily, he was behind the compost bin, but it wouldn't be long till he was free. He's in my fucking base! No way, bro! God, I fucking hate this game. Just burned to death, man. Nope, he's in... This player was now inside my base. He was free to loot anything I had, although there was no way for him to get out. The door was closed. Getting him out wouldn't be easy though. He had leveled melee damage, which if I'm being honest is a stupid mechanic. Anytime I go in to fight him, he's gonna deal twice as much damage as I do. He's over encumbered with shit. Fucking dummy. The greedy bastard had grabbed so much stuff from my smithy that he literally couldn't move. This was gonna be a lot easier than I thought. This guy is literally brain dead. Jesus, how many stim bears you got, dude? He's just eating stim bears to keep swinging. Like, literally brain dead plays right now. Motherfucker. Son of a bitch. I was trying to save up my metal, but no, actually he wanted to craft a simple pistol for me. So I have a simple 65 metal down the drain in exchange for a simple fucking pistol. He's trying to rack glitch me out. Well, there's really only one thing I can do in the situation, and yes, it is an exploit. God, he destroyed my compost bin too. I waited a fucking hour to get that fucking fertilizer. That's down the drain too. I love these fucking people. These people are fucking amazing. If these guys were just going to sit here and mesh raft me and jump into my raft by glitching into it, I decided I would just push my smithy into a rock. And the way this works is you just abuse the arc physics and you push your smithy into a rock. That way, even if your base gets blown into, they can't get into the loot because it's in a rock. And when you want to take it out, you just move the smithy out. It's cheap and dirty, but I mean, these guys are literally glitching into my raft. What is my alternative? Although my base was incredibly secure, and these guys undoubtedly knew that because they're fucking experts at fucking with rafts, they still sat around and spent like 10 minutes just hatcheting my door down for like no good reason, and they left halfway through. It seems like they have no value of even their own time. Despite managing to kill and loot one of them, this whole encounter for me was a wash. The gear I got from him was incredibly primitive, and they cost me quite a bit actually. They destroyed my compost bin, which had fertilizer in it. They used some of my metal to make a pistol, which I really did not want. They'd cost me a shit ton of time, and just to be dicks, they threw away some of the stone building pieces I had. But with them finally losing their patience as I just sat like a little turtle hiding in my shell, they left. And I could finally return back to South 1 and get back to building my base. Upon returning to South 1, these guys obviously could not leave me alone, and they just sat around and tried to mess with me more. I decided that I would grab a torch and try to make some kind of desperate play to fight back. Hopefully if I killed them, they just decide this place wasn't worth being in anymore. He's out there with his long literally picking on bobs and thatch huts. He's trapped in there. I should have pushed it when he was reloading. Let me guess he's gonna... So ass at this game, bro. Let me guess, I'm just gonna get shot, right? My desperate offensive had gotten close, but no cigar. They now had me knocked out, and do you want to guess what they did? Well, because they hate me irrationally for some reason, they decided that I would spend the next 30 minutes asleep. Completely knocked out. 30 minutes isn't an exaggeration either. I looked over it. Just 30 minutes of my time were spent asleep that they continuously kept spending. They spent hundreds of narcotics just to do this to me because for some reason they really, really hated me. Once they had finally killed me and I respawned to return to my raft and get back to farming, guess what I found? They were sitting there hatcheting the doors down. So this guy somehow knocked me out with a metal hatchet. I don't know the answer to that one either. And then they decided to keep me for another 5 minutes, because they had not yet wasted enough of my time. Has this been raided? No fucking way. What the fuck? What? Why? They had even gone as far as to blow into my obviously very incomplete base. They literally spent grenades just to make me lose a couple more stone walls, and so I'd have to repair. They had probably expected this constant defeat and destruction to demoralize me. They saw me as their chief competitor, and they wanted me out by any means necessary. But this had the exact opposite effect. All it did was build my resolve. I knew that all I had to do was get built up, and this would never happen to me ever again. When you're at your lowest, there's only one place to go, and that's up. If you want to find out what happens next and how I get past these setbacks, you're going to have to subscribe so you know when the next video comes out. You can also like the video if you want to like the video. And if you would like to join the Discord, the link to that will be in the description down below, and so will the link to my Patreon if you want to join that. You get early access to videos, you get to be on the screen, you get to be epic. Thanks to Level 5 Tech Dodo and Dylan DeVille for being very epic. Level 5 Tech Dodo also says, everyone that's not on the screen is a Bob.